Yeti, stop baiting, okay? You're gonna get in trouble, Yeti. Desire is not better than blood on the tracks. It's an insane take. Desire is it is bait. It's bait because you typed it in conjunction with your high score in Clover Pit. That means it's bait. You put two bait messages together. It's like you've got a worm and you've got a lure. And now I used one of your jokes with my chiropractor, and he laughed. I was on a decompression table getting pulled, and he said I said the first quarter turn on the rack must have felt great back in the day. That's pretty good. Have you ever seen Jacob's Ladder? Based on Jacob's Ladder, chiropractors might be angels or the devil. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've seen it. It would be good with Tim Robinson instead of Tim Robbins. It was good with Tim Robbins, to be fair. I gave it a 5. But with Tim Robinson, I could imagine, what the fuck? What the fuck? My girlfriend has fucking horns, bro. What the fuck? What about Tim Allen? Pissing me off. How's Tim Allen still on TV, man? Keep seeing that with Kat Dennings. I don't know. Listen. I'm not damning Kat Dennings. She's got to work. But it's in the Tim Allen show, the show that I've been watching NFL football, and they keep running ads for a home improvement reunion. But it's not even like, hey, we made a new home improvement, which would also suck. Instead, it's like the two big actors from Home Improvement are on the same episode of a completely different show, but we're advertising it as if it's a Home Improvement reunion, which does, what the hell is that, man? My father-in-law watches that show. They did a gender reveal party episode. It's exactly what you would think. If I had to guess what a gender reveal party episode would look like on a 2025 Tim Allen sitcom, it would be Tim Allen's daughter has married a woke software developer, and when they have the gender reveal, the fireworks shoot out like gray smoke, and then he says, we're not choosing our child's gender, they can choose their own gender. And then Tim Allen looks at the camera and goes, what's going on? What's going on here? So far, you're like 95% correct. Okay, 1 second. What's the new Tim Allen show? It's called Shifting Gears. Matt is a stubborn widowed owner of a classic car restoration shop. That's literally like the boomer fantasy. When Matt's estranged daughter and her kids move into the house, the real restoration begins. So Shifting Gears, gender reveal. Was it Shifting Gears or was it the other one? Was it called Last Man Standing, right? I've seen 4 minutes of one Last Man Standing episode, and it's Tim Allen driving his car with his grandson in the back seat, and I don't use this term lightly, he's indoctrinating his grandson for what Supreme Court justices he's rooting for and which ones he's rooting for the worst thing to happen to. That's the only thing I've ever seen of Last Man Standing, and I was like, I can't believe this is a real show. The episode's called You've Got Male or Female. Oh shit, that's fucking funny. I can't believe I'm Googling Last Man Standing spoilers. Last Man Standing, You've Got Male or Female spoilers. Whatever. I've decided I don't care that much. I'm not clicking on lastmanstanding.fandom.com. I can't be doing that. Accidentally drank bicycle chain grease again. You guys ever play the clarinet and use the cork grease as lip balm, and then your music teacher makes you think you're going to die? So true. They're like, oh my God, that's going to dry your lips out like crazy. It ain't that serious, bro. It ain't that serious. I have a theory about Tim Allen, and just to circle back, my theory about Tim Allen is that Tim Allen no longer exists. At some point, he, much like Kevin Spacey, allowed his real identity to get completely swallowed up by Tim Taylor. And Tim Allen has not existed since like 1998. And because first off, Last Man Standing, lots of references to Home Improvement in the 4 minutes that I've seen. His new show seems to just be a Home Improvement like redo by any other name. And every time you see the Golden Mickeys on the Disney cruise, he shows up on the screen in this video that was recorded in like 2001. And he starts talking about like, well, there's no job that a courage can't fix unless you don't have a proper pipe wrench or a Binford. Like he's been Tim Taylor forever. Like he hasn't been Tim Allen in years, man. In decades. I could totally picture Jim Parsons saying to Tim Allen, "You should try acting, my dear boy. It's easier." Hang on, I got to finish this coffee. You know what I realized about iced coffee? There's a problem, and also, I mean, it's whether it's a problem or a solution depends on the way you look at it. It's a glass half full, glass half empty thing. But I think that when you drink iced coffee, you drink the liquid and not the ice, which means the more liquid you drink, the less liquid is in the glass, and the higher percentage of the glass remains ice, which makes it incredibly difficult to get the last little bit of coffee out of the cup, man. It's like, how many times do you have to divide something by 2 until there's nothing left? Well, the answer is the limit does not exist, Regina George. The limit does not fucking exist. Frozen coffee, even worse. I haven't had a frozen drink in a long time. I'll calorie max, but a Slurpee is like a step too far. Like, I don't think past the age of 22 you can be drinking a Slurpee. Unless you're like, and listen, this is you probably wouldn't feel comfortable saying it, and you're sure as shit not going to be comfortable hearing it. The only adults who should be drinking Slurpees are like auto mechanics in their 40s who are bizarrely like 107 pounds, even though they eat more food than anybody you've ever seen in your entire life. Everybody went to school with a dude who ate like 7 people's worth of food for lunch, but for some reason had like an 8-pack and was insanely skinny. And if you ever got paired against them in the wrestling unit of gym class, you were about to experience the meaning of pain. I went to a high school where like half the kids were wannabe coastal elites like myself, and half the kids were like blue collar, farmers' kids who literally worked the fields from the time they were like 5 onwards. And when we got paired up in wrestling class, I would remember being in like a doughy motherfucker in the 9th grade, and he had me grapple this kid whose dad owned like a mechanic shop, like an auto body shop, and I felt like the sinews in his forearms, and I was like, I don't think this is gonna go well, man. I don't think I have a single visible muscle or palpable muscle. And this dude has like he had like the Terminator arm. You know when the flesh comes off the Terminator and you can see like the little sprockets and shit? Explain wrestling class. In high school, we had wrestling class. Like in gym class, we had a wrestling unit. That's pretty odd. I mean, not really. This was before COVID. Diseases didn't exist. I don't know what like social distance gym class was. It was like you got to stay at least 2 meters away from your wrestling opponent. That would probably be better for me. I could serve some withering looks or something like that. But my sister did PE in her room during COVID. At least she didn't do PE in her pants or whatever. That's funny though. Like that's a good bit. Remote learning phys ed class. It's not a bit. It was real. So what? Your teacher just sat there and told you to like do jumping jacks or whatever? Yes. That's so fucking funny. Oh, fuck, that's funny. Hey, by the way, while I was I wanted to talk about the most Reddit thing that never happened. I forget, I was listening to something in the car that my daughter wanted to listen to, and then Skater Boy came on after. As a kid, I was just excited to hear Skater Boy because I was 12, and also Avril Lavigne is from Greater Napanee, which is like a 15-minute drive from where I grew up in the middle of nowhere, which is crazy. But listen, I didn't realize how Reddit the song is, how Obviously, it didn't happen, but like how obvious it is that it didn't happen. As a kid, I was like, this is probably how shit works. Okay, verse 1 of Skater Boy. I'm not going to read the whole lyrics, but verse 1, she was a boy, she was a girl. She wasn't that progressive back then. She was a girl, he was a boy. Can I make it any more obvious? He was a punk, she did ballet. What more can I say? She thought she was better than him because she did dance and he did skateboarding. The end, okay? Verse 2, 5 years from now, she sits at home feeding the baby. She's all alone. Is this possibly the most, like, fucked up, fake incel story that's ever happened in human history? 5 years later, she's a single mom and she's feeding her baby and she's pissed off. She's pissed off. Oh, feeding the baby, she's all alone. She turns on TV. Guess who she sees? Skater Boy rocking up MTV. Oh shit. Oh my God. She's literally seething, man. She's seething. She calls up her friends. They already know. And they've all got tickets to see his show, dude. They've got tickets to see his show, and they didn't fucking tell her because they knew she would have been devastated because her life fucking sucks because of her baby and she ain't got no help. She tags along and stands in the crowd, looks up at the man that she turned down. Oh, no. That shit, it would have hit a little harder if that was at like the end, if that was the last verse. But there's like 8 verses in between. It is an antinatalist message. I'm with the skater boy. I said, see you later, boy. I'll be backstage after the show. I'll be at a studio singing the song we wrote about a girl you used to know. They're fucking running They fucking hate this girl, man. This shit, they were holding a grudge. They wrote a #1 song on the Billboard Hot 200 because this dude got rejected by someone in the 8th grade. That's fucking crazy. She's just living her life, man. She's literally living her life. I do like that line. Sorry, girl, but you missed out. Well, tough luck, that boy's mine now. We are more than just good friends. That is how the story ends. First off, no, it's not. She's probably going to be alive for like another 60 years or whatever. So it's not how the story ends. Secondly, I love how she says, we are more than just good friends. She's like, we fuck. I'm fucking the skater boy. I'm sucking the skater boy. He said, see you later, boy. Anyway, how does Rocker Trump feel about Skater Boy? We love it, Chibli. Rock on. Serves that prep right for not respecting the skaters, Chibli. For not respecting the skaters. She deserves to suffer. Let's not go there. That's too real. You're not ready for that one. What GPU do you have? I don't know. I ripped this bitch out of a Waymo. Chatters, we're playing torso tennis. I've been asked to play torso tennis for like maybe 2 weeks since it came out. And the whole time, I'll be honest with you, what I thought it would be, do you remember goofball goals where it's like quap soccer? I thought that this would be like quap tennis. I thought you would play as like a me or something like that with hands but no arms. And you would like run over to stuff and go like, and then slide over here and go. I really thought it was going to be like a goofy physics-based comedy game. What it is actually apparently is a zany, non-physics-based Mega Man Battle Network-inspired sports-themed roguelike, man. Now, I will say, because I don't want to end up on the wrong side of the FCC like Jimmy Kimmel, I did receive a code for this, but I did not use the code. I bought the game because I support the cause. And I support the culture. But the code is in my inbox. So the developer's watching and they're like, I gave him a code this morning. You did give me a code, but I bought the game. I just want that to be clear. You can go check your Steamworks backend. What's the cause? They all want to know the cause. I'll let you know when I fucking figure it out, okay? I don't know it either. You got to ask Kevin Drew about that shit. I don't know what the hell Broken Social Scene's talking about, man. You move around with WASD. You serve with a click or a space bar. Ball bounces and then scores. Okay, understandable. Serves target your cross-court location. Yeah, that makes sense. That's That's tennis coded. Now, the one thing that isn't tennis coded is that you can't serve from up here. You have to serve from behind the service line, but that's okay. Serve here. There you go. Reloading balls to serve. Sorry, I got to get the extendo mag. All right, now we got some opposition here. Return. Move into a bouncing ball to return it. While returning, add spin with arrow keys. Okay, we're gonna hit you with a devastating drop shot. Serve here to make a stack. Oh, damn, a 2-stack. Nice stack. Get ready. Oh, shit, we're playing the fucking game, bro. First off, I'm gonna serve something for you right there. Best of luck to you. I hit it right to you. My bad, y'all. Let's hit him with a little fucking backspin or whatever. What am I doing? Pardon me. Sorry, I'm stacking on you. Okay. Serve it. Where's this one going? Right there? Stack it up. I don't know. A stack of 2 is probably good, right? This is probably what it felt like to play Pong back in the day. It's going to take us a minute to get our sea legs underneath us, okay? Because I haven't played a game like this before. You defeated Top Spin Slice. Choose. Find pliers to yoink limbs or earn $3. I guess I'll earn $3. So the other element about it, besides the Mega Man battle stuff, is that it has auto battler style shops. So I think if you apply items to your limbs, and if you stack up multiple of the same tier of the same item, then it becomes stronger. Where's the Mega Man? I said Mega Man Battle Network. Rafus C. I said Mega Man Battle Network. Would you prefer I said One Step from Eden? I played that one too. You'll say you never beat it. Oh, I beat it. I think you'll find that I beat it if you go to youtube.com/Northernlion and then search One Step from Eden. I think you'll find that I beat it, okay? I think you'll find I did a little series on it back in the day. I think you'll find, do not cite the old words to me, which I was there when they were already written. Where you keep your wallet? My parents told me never to tell you. They told me never to tell you where I keep my wallet. They always say stuff like, people who don't go outside or who live like in the woods and think that the city is just a non-stop like crime festival is the things they love to say. You should never tap your pockets. Like if you're on the subway or something like that, you should never tap your pockets, because then all the pickpockets that are just waiting are gonna be like, oh shit, that's where he keeps his wallet, in his fucking pocket. I never would have thought of that. That devious motherfucker. He's keeping his wallet in his fucking pocket. I've never heard of that. He's putting a thing in the place where it always goes. That's what I'm saying. They can see in my pants. I'm not wearing bootcut jeans, man. They know where my phone is. They know where my wallet is. That being said, I'm not a wallet in the pocket guy. I'm a wallet in the crossbody bag sort of guy. I'm sorry to say. And you know, you might say, well, your phone makes a big outline in your pocket. That's true, but nobody wants to steal that. It's an Android. It's called security through obscurity, bro. What am I watching? It makes perfect sense, man. It's not self-explanatory, but it's funny to say it is. I would +2 that. I would +2 that. I like making people laugh. I'm not like most streamers. I like making people laugh. Most streamers like to make people think. I'm more of a comedy maxing. Okay, one step on an item, see if you get a bonus serve out of it. Oh, I let you score 3 points on my forehead. No thanks. I keep serving into your fucking... Ah! Don't let them win. I keep serving into your shells, bro. Okay, this is a little hectic. Just keep stacking them up. Honestly, if I just focus on playing defense instead of talking, I think I'd be in a much better spot. We're about to put a big one on you. We fucking won! Holy shit. Give me the money. I like your sweater. It looks cozy. Thanks. This is a late first round pick for winter fashion. I know we're not quite in the winter time yet, but it's not a waiver wire sweater, okay? It's this is close to the top of the fantasy draft of your closet that you go through every day when you pick what you're gonna wear. I literally mog you. You still wear Queens merch for the love of the game? Not, afraid not. I don't even know if I guess I had one Queens Navy sweater when I went to Queens, but I mean, To be honest with you, I'm about to die. Get up. Okay, I can't do a bit right now. I'm sorry, I can't do a bit. This is too serious for bits. I'm dead. I'm fucking dead. I'm dead because you asked me about my university. When I went there, they had a fairly good academic reputation. They were a top 5 to 8 university in Canada. By the time I left, they were like a top 25 university in Canada, and they screwed their reputation, bro. So I don't need to rep the Queen's merch. That's my impact. Yeah, that's my impact. My wife went to Queen's for a bit, then left because it's trash butt. Okay, so is your wife a real learner, or did she just like maybe get homesick during undergrad and now we're trying to blame the institution? Like, listen, it's not the best institution in Canada, but if you were getting your undergrad degree in like life sciences, you don't really get to be like, I'm bigger than this school. You grinded for 4 years just to have a chance for someone to glance at your application. So let's not act above your station. She graduated with environmental science at U of T. That's cool. Are we talking about a bachelor's or like something real? No disrespect. Listen, I'm 36 years old. We can't be flexing our bachelor's degree, man. That's a little crazy. We honestly, at 36, we shouldn't even be flexing our any of our degrees. We should be flexing our position. You know, we should do. It's been 20 years. I was telling Kate yesterday. It's now been 19 years since I started college, which means next year is going to be 2 fucking decades since I started college, which doesn't sound right. It doesn't seem like a young pup such as myself at 36 could be 20 years out from having started college. Shouldn't you have to be like 50 years old before you get to 20 years since you started college? That doesn't seem right, man. I'm literally not quirk chungus. Mods, guards, seize them. Mods, avail them to the knowledge that they have a hangnail 3 seconds after they've left their house. And they just go, that's okay, I just won't pick at it till I get home. When I get my nail clippers and I can cut it off clean instead of trying to rip it off with my fingers or my teeth. You know what I hate to say it because it kind of feels good, but it also kind of feels bad. When you have like a little hangnail and you pull on it and then you realize that shit was like an underground cable that was like just under the top layer of your epidermis, and like as you pull it, it pulls like all the way down your finger to like the first knuckle, and then you pull out like one little, like a little thread of, I don't even know what the material is. Ouch! Thoughts on betting money line versus spread? Welcome back, Blind Salamander. It's been a minute. I gotta be the last motherfucker on earth that doesn't know what spread means. Like, I know what it means in principle. The spread is the idea that they try to make it 50-50, right? So if you got a good team playing a bad team, for the good team to pay out, they have to win by a set number of points. But that just doesn't make any sense to me. That seems overly complicated. Maybe I haven't been giving gamblers enough credit. Maybe you've got to be really smart to understand sports gambling. Because the money line just seems more sensible to me. The money line is just like, are you team A or are you team B? But the spread, I can't imagine. Doesn't it make you feel bad to be a person who has placed a bet and you're like, I bet on the Buccaneers to win. But then they win, and you're like, fuck, they only won by 5. They only won by 5. They needed to win by 6.5 points in order to fucking get the payout. Like, something about it just doesn't seem right, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Are roguelikes entering their millennial era? One game with 28 Steam reviews comes out, all of a sudden Twitch chat turns into a think piece machine. Doesn't make any damn sense. Whatever happened to Take My Energy? Whatever happened to Raise Your Dongers, man? This used to be a proper website. People have started to go back to the idea that whimsy is cringe. Yeah, I know. There's been, like, not everything's bad. Like, that's good, for example. Is it, because here's the thing, that people always say shit like, oh, like you've lost your inner child or whatever. They never say it about like being like, having questions about shit that actually matters. Like, how did they make the potato chips? How do they get the flavor for potato chips, man? I wonder what it would be. I would love to spend a day at work. Imagine if my dad was the scientist who made all dressed salt at the Lay's potato chip factory. And it was take your kid to work day. God, that would be the best day of all time, man. That inner child still exists within me. I get criticized for not having an inner child because, like, I think Rogue One is like a 7.5 out of 10 instead of a 9.5. People are like, what? Who hurt you? It's always some form of like media that if I don't agree with people on, they're like, well, you're just taking yourself too seriously. I'm like, no, bro. I want to be an ice cream taster. Want to grow up to be the taster. The taster. But it's always like, oh, you should fucking... Oh, you didn't like Jojo Rabbit. Who hurt you? Oh, let people enjoy things. It's never like, damn, I wonder what it's fucking like to... It better be pretty cool to be a taxi driver for a day or something like that. I know someone who works at the company and that R&D is the flavoring. She said they treat it like classified government secrets. It is funny because I'm not saying it's not important, but I do want to tell them, no matter how good the chips taste, people are just going to buy whatever's on sale. If the Lays are $3.99 a bag and the compliments are $2.99, I'm getting the compliments for $2.99, man. Unless that's if I'm buying for me. If I'm buying to take it somewhere, I buy the Lays because I don't want them to think that I'm like, but only buying compliments because it's for the group. And I buy Lays or even Kettle for myself. If you're going to a party, you got to get the name brand just to signal a little bit. But if for consumption in your room by yourself, I'll get whatever's on sale, man. You're right, they are in the room going, oh, more salt. I didn't think of that. Of course, more salt. Anything yoinkable? That's a little expensive for a guy like me. Or do I, honestly, dude, there's a part of me that thinks, fuck the critters, bro. Don't say, okay, Shane Dawson. He didn't do that shit. Didn't you read the tweet? Everyone's talking like he did that shit. Didn't you read the tweet longer? He didn't do that shit. He was emphatic. Saw a very nice coffee table book on trains at Indigo the other day. Is that a wink and a nod? Because I was at Indigo on Tuesday, and I got recognized. What the hell is this? He can't stop me from scoring. I can't stop him from scoring. I can't stop him from scoring, man. He turned my whole board into stuff that wouldn't let me stop scoring. Wouldn't let him stop scoring on me. Gonna cry? What the hell? What did I do to you? Why are you reveling in my downfall? A slash marker. Call that torso tennis 2. I gotta be honest, and this is Torso Tennis Devs, this is not your fault. These videos the stream's doing okay. On YouTube, the videos are gonna die. Because the average, if you're on YouTube, don't listen. The average YouTube viewer is not, they don't have the bandwidth to keep up with this stuff, okay? I didn't say close your ears, YouTube. You know what, Chibley was saying something that I thought was really real during one of his streams. So it's like, he gets frustrated by a lot of the same things I get frustrated by, which is like you can't have a conversation online anymore. All you can do is trade information that you've seen online. Like every conversation now, outside of like very close friends or family, is just like, I saw something, I read somewhere that blah, 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 and then that reminds you of something that you saw, and you go, that reminds me, I saw something that went blah, 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 blah. And you think it's a conversation, but actually what you're doing is like trading posts that you saw on the Reddit front page, like back and forth, instead of talking about some stuff like you're actually interested in. But I think Chibley, he was saying, by the way, stop saying that's what conversations are. I know you went to WikiHow for conversations. That's not what conversations are. I don't mind a little small talk, but the small talk is about shit that actually matters, like the weather. Oh, look at the construction on the road, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, did you see this thing that happened like down the street today? That's small talk. It's nothing talk. When you're like, did you see that picture of did you see Philly's Karen? That's not small talk to me. That's nothing talk. We need to go back. Okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to encapsulate it, okay? Motherfuckers were smarter when they were dumber. When people didn't have as much information in their heads, like as many facts in their heads, They were smarter. Now everybody's head at all times is stuffed with so many facts, not insights or conclusions or theories or anything like that, but just boom, did you know? Did you know? Scientists are saying facts, 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 facts. Did you know actually he was, and then his real name was, and his teeth were, like it's just that over and over and over again. The people like know more than they've ever known, but have become so much less interesting to talk to. Most interesting guy I knew when I lived in Korea, he would try to tell me that Lake Superior was not the largest Great Lake. That was my dude back then. I know what you're gonna say. Lake Superior is obviously the largest Great Lake. It's right there in the name. Yeah, but we didn't know that shit back then, and it was like too hard for us to look it up and prove him wrong. We just let him be like that. We need to go back, and this will never happen, but we need to go back to you only being able to get information if you've earned it. We can no longer just have so much information popping off of every content aggregator online that people can just scrape it up from the ground. And I'm learning. Did you know that we peel bananas from the wrong end? I'm learning things. If you pinch a t-shirt here and go, ramp, it folds the t-shirt 2% faster. We need to stop that. We need to go back to only getting information that you fought for, that you fought in the fucking gladiatorial arena to learn that information. How do I do the t-shirt thing? I made that one up, but if you ever find a foolproof way to fold t-shirts that look as good as the t-shirts are folded in a clothing store, let me know. Kate, I will admit, Kate, I resisted for a long time because what is a man if not someone marching to the beat of their own drum? But I went from, now I can't remember. I gotta hold the t-shirt in my hand. I used to be a grab the corners, like where the shoulder meets the body, right here, and then fold it, and then fold the sleeves down and fold it in half again. I finally relented and I have become a fold the sleeves back and then fold it in half and fold it again, which is my, that's my wife's preferred method. I do think it works better. I think it works better the second way. Wife says no, I don't remember. That's not my way. You don't fold the sleeves first, you fold them down the median, like the prime meridian first. I'm not lying on her name, it's just like, that's one of the things, it's like every once in a while, like when you're driving, you know what the muscle memory is to hit your signal light. But if you ask me whether you push the yoke down or up to signal left, I would be like, I literally have to close my eyes and imagine being inside of the car. This is left. That signal's left. And this is right. That's right there. Yeah, I drive with my eyes closed. I didn't mention that part. Double kitty. It's like remembering your password. That's so true. You know what's funny? And if you don't experience this, just wait, because you might think that you're going to be like you are now forever, but that's not really how it works. Secondly, that's naive, is what I'm trying to say. Everybody changes over time because you're made of meat, slowly going bad. Secondly, what's it like to not have any form of anxiety? But sometimes, so don't tell Jim Pattison, okay? I don't have a London Drugs extras card. So when I go to the London Drugs, I don't collect points. But my mom does. So whenever they ask for the LD extras number, I type in my mom's phone number and she gets the points, okay? But you know what's funny is that if I'm stressed out, I can't remember the phone number. I'll be at the machine and be like a little heart rate elevated or preoccupied thinking about something else. And I'm like, I don't know what my mom's phone number is. But then like the next day, or even like 10 minutes later, if I just calm down a little bit, I'm like, oh shit, of course I know her number. It's da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da. It's that simple. Same thing like for online banking, I know what my debit card number is, and if I'm in a calm state of mind, da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da-da, done, okay? But if I'm a little bit stressed out, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't go to online banking right now. I either have to wait till I'm chill, Or I have to go upstairs and I have to get my debit card. And it feels so bad knowing something 95% of the time, but then having to actually go up and double check it when you're like, I've typed it in 50 times, like in the last 6 months. One day I woke up and just forgot my phone password. Next day it was chill. That's real, librarian. That's real, man. You know what's crazy is the idea that, like, I wonder if there was a day where you ever woke up and you, like, weren't what you would describe as yourself. You know what I mean? Because, like, the reason that you are yourself is there's, like, a link every day, you know? You go to sleep as yourself, you wake up as almost the same person, but all that shit is coded in meat, bro. It's coded in fucking meat. That's crazy. So what if you fucking woke up one day and all the shit that you thought you weren't that anymore? You know what I mean? That would be crazy. Or maybe it's already happened, but it like overwrites part of your recent stack. The self is very interesting, man. Not to a philosophy post, because I haven't watched enough YouTube essays to really know what kind of words I should be using to describe this. But you're kind of creating yourself, but also observing yourself in real time, man. The actions you take and the thoughts you have lead you to have a model of what you yourself is. But then also, that then informs the behaviors and the fucking opinions you're gonna have, man. That's crazy. It's like you're doing like one layer of self with your actions, and then when it comes to think of like, how would I react in a situation like this? You look at the fucking Xerox, and then you Xerox it again. And then the next time you do something, you're like, oh, what would I do in this situation? Let me consult the Xerox. And then you Xerox it again. You Xerox a Xerox, a Xerox, a Xerox, a Xerox. And you've been Xeroxing the Xerox for 3.5 decades now, man. You don't know what the fucking original looks like anymore. The original could look completely different. That's fucking true too. Maybe there never was an original, man. 1 second, I'm yoinking. By the way, everyone who says this is like mental illness, you're giving the same vibe as the people who hear like Octopus's Garden and are like, the Beatles must have been on drugs. They were on drugs. You don't need to be on drugs to watch Octopus or to write Octopus's Garden. That's just like, you could just do that while you're eating breakfast. You could be like either high or like 9 years old, I guess. It's also crazy to think, I think we're giving drugs too much credit. Now, before you get mad at me and you say, actually, drugs rule, give me a second, okay? The thing is, we're giving drugs the credit for writing some awesome songs. And I'm sure they put you in an altered state of consciousness that might unlock some creativity. But I'm sure drugs are responsible for like a lot of fucking shitty songs too, man. I'm sure there's I need this one! I'm sure there's a lot of absolutely dog shit artists out there that are just like cracked out of their minds, man. And that's the real crime, man, is being like on drugs, but then your music also sucking. I don't think I've seen one message about the actual game. Me during the G-Unit retrospective. But I haven't done the game bit in a while. I forgot about that. When he said, hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. I'm Rap's MVP and I ain't going nowhere so you can get to know me. And then the dude never did another song. Which is probably not fair. I bet he did do other songs. I just don't really know them. But you get the idea. And then remember that? And then he disappeared. He made some songs. Didn't he do a post that was like, here's me and David Bowie or something? He photoshopped his head on somebody else's head and was like, this is me hanging out with David Bowie. There was something like that. 1 second here. Game discusses Photoshop Tupac picture. Game explains why he posted a photoshopped photo of him and Tupac. The Game posted a photo earlier this week on his Instagram of him and Tupac, but it was quickly revealed that the photo was photoshopped. Game asserts to Vlad TV that the pic was sent to him by a fan and was never an attempt to imply that the two West Coast MCs ever linked up. It was merely a way of showing respect to one of the most legendary rappers to ever hop in the booth. Hey, when I posted that picture of me next to Tupac, I didn't mean to imply that I'd ever been in the same room as Tupac. I just implied it was an honor for Tupac to have met me if he did. I see what he's saying. Minimize the damage taken? Yeah, good job. You've minimized fucking nothing. Maximize my foot in your ass. I'm fucking dead. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy, man. Fuck this guy. All right, I'm gonna slash marker. I'm just gonna say it, man. Torso tennis might be too hard for me. I did not say too much gameplay. I said it might be too hard for me. Can I say something? Unfair Flips, until I joined the category, had 2 viewers. Now, lest you think this is punching down, they're playing a real fucking game. Because I'm flipping the coin and acting like I'm so superior because I'm not getting bored flipping the coin and I'm finding some kind of enlightenment from within. But really, there's like thousands of people watching. If you can play that shit for 2 people watching, you're fucking way more enlightened than I am, bro. That's like, you're flipping like 2 coins at once, or half a coin at once. That's fucking, you're doing it for the love of the game, man. That's awesome. That's fucking sick. Excuse me, it's not quirk chungus, it's quirky chungus. I mean, wait, the opposite. It's not quirky chungus, it's quirk chungus. I'm going to say the quirk chungus image might be one of the most hateful images ever created on the internet, but everybody does know a quirk chungus or 2. And everybody does know a couple of guys who are like quirk chungus's husband. I think we've said that before, maybe even last week, but I don't know what that means. I guarantee you know a couple quirk chunguses. And there's nothing wrong with it. They're real people. It's my sister and her husband down to a T. What is it? Well, it's like a, like a millennial lady who wears a sweater that says like keep calm and Hufflepuff on. And then her husband who has like a beard and complains about everything but doesn't do anything about it. That's like... Not to be fucking evil, but that's the archetype. And the cat is innocent too. And they have a doggo. I have no problem with the dog owners, just to be clear. But I will say, there's because real estate in Vancouver is so expensive, no businesses can operate except for bakeries and real estate agents' offices, which means that I always have to like figure out what to it's the fucking weekend. What am I going to take my kid to? And your only options are drive to Richmond or take your kid to the microbrewery and suffer the looks of the 300 dog owners that brought their pupper into the... Hey, this is pupper territory. This isn't crotch goblin territory. Go back to Richmond. This is heckin' chonker territory. They look at you like you're a fucking... like an evil person, man. Accidentally went to Yappy Hour one time. Worst night of my life. Is Yappy Hour it's a dog happy hour? I literally like dogs, by the way. I think dogs and children should be allowed to be in the restaurant. So don't put that evil on me. I was thinking about like just restarting the game. And can I tell you, this is the meta game within the game. The reason I kind of wanted to restart is because I saw Dan play this morning. I didn't see how it went because I had to get off the bike. But I feel like if he's going to hold himself to 30%, I got to do it again and hold myself to 25. And the reason I would do 25 instead of 20 is because I want him to feel like he has to go to... he has to go one further. He has to go to 20. Do it? YouTube, should I do it? You don't have any say here. You don't have any say here. Rapidly press escape 3 more times to reset the game. Oh, we can't even go back now, man. We can't even go back. Oh, snap. This is big, man. This is big. Oh, my God. I regret it. My coin flips so slowly now. It flips so slowly, dude. Oh, my God. I mean, we gotta go. Flip time right off the bat. That's a given. That just can't hold. That's too much. Never-ending content. Imagine. Oh. You can press space instead of clicking. Oh, that's huge. That's gonna save my wrist, man. Listen, I'm not so pure of spirit that I would not take any upgrades. I'm not that ascetic, okay? But I'm gonna stop it at 25 because my man Dan stopped it at 30, okay? So I'd like to upgrade the coin's worth. I get why you play the lottery now. Act broke, stay rich. I literally won the lottery last night. One more free play. I know what you're gonna say, NL. It seems sus that you keep winning so many free plays. I don't know, man. I guess I'm just fucking good. I'm just fucking good at it. I'm good at playing the lottery. I'm good. My body is a machine that turns 2 lottery tickets into 1 lottery ticket. I'm sorry to say. I let them pick the numbers too, and honestly, maybe that's my problem. I mean, they've been winning me a lot of free tickets, but maybe I would have won the jackpot by now if I picked my own. You know what would be fucking huge aura? To pick your own lottery numbers and just run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 every time. It's no less likely, bro. It's no less likely, but it feels less likely, so it gives you aura. No, like statistically speaking, there must be, I mean, especially now that we just got a raid, I'm assuming there must be at least one-time Big Brother winner / 2-time Big Brother contestant in the chat right now. So I think we've definitely got some famous celebrities watching, but if they're smart, they'd be quiet because the environment is not conducive for you to, be out there right now. Tall poppies get cut. Flip this. Dan, I want you to know, so I'm not necessarily throwing down the gauntlet. Here's what I would say. I would say I'm lightly poking the bear. I had a run I was literally 1 flip away from winning, but then I said, you know what? I'm on 55% heads chance. And I saw Dan play this morning, and he's on 30% and refusing to upgrade any further. And I said, you know what? Not to be outdone, I ran it back without even winning. I reset all of my progress and put myself down to 25. You inspired me. So you're trying to one-up him? Yes, but it's the great kind of, it's a Joker kind of one-up, because I also left him a little bit of space. He could stay at 20 if he wants. He could restart and stay at 20. If he thinks he's got it. If he thinks he's got it, then why not, man? Clip this. At 2 flips a second, estimated time to completion is 101 hours. Good. That means we don't have to think about what to put on the docket for a bit. Plus, I think I can do 3 flips a second. I just need my flip time to come down a little bit. This cost us Lies of P DLC. I'm sorry to tell, so Lies of P, most underrated Souls game of all time. But I'm sorry to tell, I think From games are in a temporary lull, man. And I'm basing that entirely on nobody on YouTube wanting to watch Night Rain. There's no way you beat this today? Stop teasing me. You're telling me I could carry this into the weekend? I do feel cooler hitting the spacebar instead of clicking, by the way. 100%. 100%. Okay, we need to lower our flip time for sure. Did you see that? I lowered it in the air so we got a better chance for heads. Brother, it's literally Wednesday. Okay, we're both wrong. What's that tweet that's like, she went to fill a prescription, and then the lady said, we don't sell magazines, and then she said, bitch, that's a subscription, we're both stupid. You know the one I'm talking about? You had me checking my phone? I had to reply to that email because I rescheduled a meeting like a month ago, and I didn't really, I guess, read the email the whole way through when I rescheduled it. So I said, yeah, Friday at 3 is great. And then he emailed me and was like, just so you know, I asked you to do Thursday at 3. But if you want to do Friday at 3, that's fine. And I said, thank you for emailing me back. I'm stupid. Big sponsor meeting with Disney. They're looking, I don't want to tip my hand, they're looking for an apolitical guy who has appeal to both sides of the political spectrum to replace Jimmy Kimmel. And I'm on the short list of apolitical comedians that are perfectly adapted to the present incendiary type situation. You got to do the Trump voice? Yes, but I have to do it in a way where both sides think I'm doing, like, I need one side to think like, oh, he's doing it because he loves this guy and his awesome voice. And I need the other side to be like, he's doing it because he hates this guy and his stupid voice. I need, and it's tough to nail the balance. It's really tough to nail the balance. Rocker Trump would work, but that's Ghibli's bit. I can't, well, maybe I could steal it. You're a Marxist? I'm literally not. I think duck soup is overrated, bro. I think that's the kind of shit that was like, is funny in like 1906, but it hasn't really aged well. I'm kind of like an old school comedian though, so I get it. I really think Old School is like one of the funniest movies ever made. Nyak, nyak, nyak. Boom, do you, why I oughta, wow, 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 bonk. Those were the fucking days, man. Those were the fucking days. They got so many good moves. The eye poke blocker, winding up a fist and then poking them in the eyes with that's misdirection. That's classic. That's classic. I'm off the pen, don't tell her. Let's put it that way. The line up slap, that's another good one. You like Spinal Tap? It's legit one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, for sure. You have 27 top 10 favorite movies? Honestly, that's the way it should be, bro. You should have like 1 to 5 favorite movies of all time, 25 top 10s, 500 top 100 movies, and then like 10,000 top 250 movies. Is Amadeus top 10? That's in my top 100. I think I'd have to see it again to say if it's one of the 250 in my top 100, I would say. I don't know if I'm comfortable making it one of the 50s that's in the top 10, though. Norbit's one of the 10,000 that's in the top 250. I'm sorry, Norbit is not good, but it's like the sum of its parts is more than the whole. The movie on the whole is really bad, but Turkey Ass and the Turkey Ass callback is really good. I need your thoughts on The Town. That's a top 1,000 movie of all time. I would give it a 4.5 if I had to say. It's ass. It's actually not ass. It's just not as good as Heat, but very few movies are. Heat's probably one of the 50 movies that's in my top 10. What about Parasite? Top 50 movie for sure. You a Eugene Levy person? I have a complicated relationship with Eugene Levy that is one-sided because he doesn't know who I am. He's done amazing comedic work. And I'm not just talking about the movies, because if you grew up in Canada, you watched a fuckload of SCTV reruns on Comedy Central when you were homesick from school. And the dude has been doing great work in comedy for like 50 years. On the other hand, and a man's gotta eat, okay? But on the other hand, he did also do like 9 American Pie movies, including like 5 of them after the rest of the cast stopped being in them, and it was like just Eugene Levy in the movie, which is crazy for a franchise to still be going with the only main cast member being Jim's dad. That's insane to me that they could somehow, even coming out direct to DVD with that stuff is crazy. Now he's doing a lot of ads on Canadian TV. I'm pushing back on the idea that someone can be overexposed just for being in a lot of movies. I think that we're conflating 2 different kinds of overexposure. If you're in a lot of movies, and especially if the movies are like pretty good, I'm happy for you. I don't consider that to be overexposed. But if you're in like a few movies, but then you're in a few advertisements, that's where I start to go like, I mean, no disrespect to Eugene Levy, but I don't need you selling me like a reverse mortgage. Actually, I think to be fair, I think he's doing ads for like the Prostate Cancer Foundation. So maybe I shouldn't be like lumping him in with Ryan Reynolds and his Tim Hortons ads or something. But you know what? I decided Eugene Levy's all right. Plus, he's in Waiting for Guffman. Plus, he's in Best in Show. Thoughts on Ron Livingston? I like him. Ron Livingston, to me, is he's lining up to be the next Paul Rudd. And I've told you, I'm actually, so what I just said about not being mad at someone for being overexposed, if they're just in movies but not in ads, that goes against my current Paul Rudd opinion, which is like, he has a lot of goodwill, but he's starting to burn it down with all this Ghostbusters nonsense. Now maybe the Anaconda remake will bring it back because it seems very self-aware, but every Ghostbusters reboot that he does, it takes a point out of 10 off. I think Ron Livingston, funny guy, famous in the 90s, looks fucking good for his age, like has aged, but has aged so gracefully that he actually like looks better now than he did when he was younger. Ron Livingston is lining up. If I were Paul Rudd, I'd be pretty scared right now. I'd be pretty scared right now if I was Paul Rudd. That's all I'm gonna say. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Kind of late on this, but can you explain your European house bit? My European house bit is like entirely based on sitting around with my parents and watching cheap European, I think the show is called like Cheap European Relocation or something like that, and it's all about Irish people who want to move to Spain. And then they're like, I want to move to Spain, but I don't want to pay a lot of money. So then they look at these houses that are like the kitchen doesn't even have a fridge, man. And then after they look at the house, they always do this bullshit where the realtor's like, why don't you take a guess on how much it costs? And they say something insane. They go, I reckon about £1 million. I reckon it's about £1 million. And then they go, actually, it's on the market right now for £27,500. And they go, what? Oh my God, how is this even possible? So I didn't mean to necessarily insinuate that nobody in Spain has a fridge. But some of these houses I've seen in Spain, I understood why they're so rude to North Americans, man. Because they're jealous of our huge fucking fridges. There's no need to be rude. Like, you could just maybe this is forehead, but you could just get a big fridge. We're jealous of your paper walls too? Bro, that's Japan. My house is made out of wood. It's not made out of paper. You got me confused with Sengoku era Japan, man. Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold. One sec, I don't want to fuck this up. I got off rhythm. Threw me off my stroke game. If I were a game dev, I would be crashing out. We just played torso tennis for 2.5 hours. I had a good time. I think it's a very cool game. Chat was talking about what they're gonna have for lunch. Now we're playing a game where you flip a coin over and over, and everyone in chat's like, holy shit, he's gonna fucking do it, man, he's gonna do it. Sometimes less is more. I mean, you know what? You could bend over backwards trying to come up with a description of what a game is or what a game should be. If it's fun, it's a game. Everything's a game. If you're having fun doing it, it's a game. I don't decide if something's a game and then decide to have fun with it. I work backwards. Am I having fun? It's a hell of a game. What if someone had fun killing people? That's not fair. That's not fair for you to... There's got to be... That's a fallacy, right? That's like appeal to John Wayne Gacyism or something. This is a 1 in 1 million chance. That's fine by me. I'll just do 1 million tries. How do you think YouTube's going to feel about this one? That's up to them. I think some people will get it. I think this is peak YouTube wait for librarian compilation of the banter. Because on YouTube there's a Twitch has sort of the same thing. But I feel like the culture on YouTube is more like, and I don't mean this in an insulting way, because I understand the impetus that leads to this. But on YouTube, the culture is more, I'm gonna cram as much content into my brain as quickly as possible as I can. I wanna watch content as efficiently as possible. I wanna put a synopsis, take the 5-hour stream, cut it down to 30 minutes, and I'll watch it on 2x speed. That's what, because then I could get more content into my brain. Like for some reason, they're all Tai Lopez. Rather than reading a book, they would rather read like 15 synopsis of novels and then be like, look at how well read I am. I know what happens in the story. Twitch is more like the radio, you know? It's like you can't speed up the radio. If you're putting on the radio, it's just to add a little ambiance and atmosphere to your environment. If someone was like, can you stop yapping on the radio and get to the song? People would be like, You need to get Apple CarPlay. You need to get Apple CarPlay. The point of the radio is just to have something, you know, it's invisible airways crackle with life. Lights and anatona with the energy. You know what I'm talking about? Emotional feedback on timeless wavelengths, bearing a gift beyond Christ, almost free. Do-do-do-do. Not really. It's Rush. Listen to the radio sometime. It's beyond price, huh? It's not beyond Christ? I thought the dude loved music so much, he was like, it's better than God. Beatles-ass line. You know, I really like the Beatles, like a lot. No offense, Justin. I might be the first person to ever say this, that the Beatles are pretty good. But it is funny that, like, John Lennon is, it's like, the way you listen to, like, boomers talk about John Lennon, it's like he's the bravest songwriter of all time. And then like something like Revolution comes on, which has a hell of a fucking, like it's a great song. And that whole song is basically like, you say you want to change the world, but then you want me to do something, and I'm not going to do that. If you want money for pictures of baby do, I'll tell you, buddy, I'll be staying home. Don't you know it's going to be all right? Dude, literally every single thing, he's basically like, don't worry about it. It could be, maybe it is ironic. Maybe he was being self-aware or making fun of people. I don't know. Let's ask him. That's not fair. I feel bad about saying it. It's been 45 years, but still. I saw you at the gorilla exhibit at the San Diego Zoo once. Yeah, that was me. Odds are that was me. I've been to the gorilla exhibit at the San Diego Zoo, and I stood there for a while. Because I don't know, man. It's fucking funny. I don't know what to tell you. Watching them throw whole cabbages at the gorilla, and then this like 1,000-pound muscled beast is just standing next to the glass eating a whole head of cabbage is fucking funny, man. It's like seeing the Babadook eating a sandwich or something like that. Like, there's something disquieting about the level of danger that this creature poses versus like the demure way they're consuming a meal that's like 1 calorie right now. Also, I had a question. I was going to start with this, but I forgot. But thank you for reminding me. Anyone here work a real job? And I don't mean a real job where you work from home. I mean a real job where you have to dress in like a suit. Because I have a theory, and my theory is that you get a ton of aura from eating fast food in a suit. Like if you're eating fast food in casual clothes, people are just like, oh, he's just hungry. He just needs a quick meal while he's on the road or something like that. Or maybe he's a slob. But if you're like, in a suit, people are like, oh shit, big businessman at the Wendy's, probably on his way from like closing a merger and acquisition, on his way to brokering like some venture capital for another. It's the exact opposite. No shot, bro, no shot. They literally just think you're eating lunch. Yeah, but they're like, who's that guy eating lunch in a suit? Only you overthink things? What do you mean over? Okay, so here's my problem with describing overthink. The idea is that like if I stopped thinking about this, I would have so much more brain space to dedicate to fucking what? To fucking what? I'm a free thinker, bro. I don't want to turn this bitch off. I want to keep it going. Truth nuke, normalize pooping. Not you demonizing somebody for pooping. Go poop, streamer. It's literally normal. You have to poop to stay alive. Dan's chat this morning could not handle this game. What were they saying? I could only see him flipping from my computer. I couldn't see what they were saying in chat. Yes, we could. Are you saying someone's spreading misinformation? It was exactly the same as your chat from when you played this. There were a couple of people saying stuff like this isn't even really a game. Well, I'm not going to shadow box some people that actually exist. I'd rather make someone up. But like, I do, and I'm not trying to flanderize myself. It just is happening naturally as people reward me for behaving in a predictable way. And that reinforces and informs the behavior I make in the future. But like people are like, it's going to take you 300 hours to beat this? Okay. Like is there supposed to be some kind of emotion attached to that mathematical observation? Or are you just like passing information on? I don't understand. It's going to take 300 hours. It literally could take like 10 seconds, by the way. We could just do it right now. No. See, you don't get it either. You think you get it because you're on my side, but you don't get it either. You said something like, this could take you 300 hours. Guy who's on his 5th playthrough of Persona 5. You're making up a guy. Like most guys that are made up, that guy does exist, but we have to say he doesn't exist because we don't have proof that he exists. We don't know who the guy is. We know he's out there, but we don't know which motherfucker it is when we're in the crowd. We know there's one of them there somewhere, but we don't know which one. But you don't fucking get it because it's also fine to play Persona 5 for 300 hours. That's also fine. That doesn't make them worse than me for flipping the coin. It's all the same. The whole point is that it's all the same. This is Persona 5. This is Uma Musume. This is jogging. This is jerking off. This is everything, bro. Everything's real and fucking nothing's real. I regret that. It might not be Uma Musume. There's a little strategy in Uma Musume. What are we doing? We're embracing oblivion. In a world where everything is trying to overstimulate you, capture your attention, restructure the algorithm so you spend more time watching, we're making the most radical choice you can make in your entire life with the limited amount of time you have on the planet. Deliberately watching something that is understimulating. We're rebuilding our brains. We're taking off the mind jack that Zuckerberg has had on us for 15 years. We're literally Morpheus. Okay, well, you're Morpheus. Okay, you're in the chair. Have you seen The Matrix? Morpheus, you're in the chair. The agents have just left the room to let you stew in your fucking sweat for a little bit. And then Neo and Trinity pulled up in the chopper. And they're going, get up. Every time I flip the coin, that's me going, get up, Morpheus. Get up. And now you're in the chair going, because you remember the way he fucking looked when he was in the... And he's got his veins are popping out of his forehead. And he goes, Aah! I think type A chatters have a disease. They ain't heavy, man. They're my brother. Because the thing is, people keep trying to make like mega bonk arguments happen. And I had to go into the Discord and say, people trying to start mega bonk discourse is proof that man was wired to fight. It's in the genome. I think we already knew that, but this is like, it's laid out as undeniable proof positive. It's fun, honestly. It doesn't matter. Your comment was really good, Magresta, where you said it looked like some shit the killer's son would play on Law and Order. That was really good. Let me see one. So this comment's interesting. I'm sorry, this is literally exploiting variable reward psychology. This is the type of thing that makes rats shock themselves to death. It's not exactly reading Proust. Okay, listen, I haven't read Proust, but I've seen Little Miss Sunshine, so I think I know a little bit about it. And honestly, the rats aren't shocking themselves to death. The scientists are making the rats shock themselves to death. So leave the rats out of this. The rats haven't done... Ratty boy, back me up. Are you here? You know what actually would be fucking sick? And I would do it if I didn't think that I would get DMCA'd in like 3 seconds. Knowing we're gonna be here for a long time, potentially. Putting like a little bar rescue window in the bottom right corner. And just watching bar rescue while we press the button. That would be sick. I don't really think I want to... I know Bar Rescue is a Paramount series because when we had our daughter, I would put on Bar Rescue on TV, and they would... Every 30-minute episode of Bar Rescue literally had a 2-hour time slot because every commercial break, they would play like 8 to 12 minutes of advertisements for other Paramount shows. And it was always this... It wasn't like a trailer, like, watch Tattoo Rescue tonight on Paramount. Every single one was like a 2-minute clip from the episode, and it was the same clip over and over. So I don't want to fuck with Paramount, because aren't they like, they probably have full access to Palantir's back end now, so that they could afford South Park or whatever. Life's fucking twisted, man. They're gonna tell John Taffer your browsing habits? They should put John Taffer on Queer Eye. Tan can teach you how to dress. Bobby can redecorate your place, and John Taffer can teach you how to save your failing bar. John Taffer can teach you how to stop shoving the glass into the ice bucket, because you're gonna kill somebody. There's gonna be glass shards in the ice. Shut it down. They need him. They need him on that. You need to measure your pores, bro. You're pouring your profits down the drain. Could be good, man. Could be good. Why is he shouting? John Taffer his blood pressure is so high that if he ever stops being angry, the resulting loss in blood pressure will lead to brain damage. He has to stay mad. It's like crank, but for anger. If he ever isn't angry, he'll pass away. You hit 28 tails in a row and didn't even notice? Okay, this bitch of a planet we're on is hurtling through space at like 15,000 kilometers a second or some shit like that, and I could care less, to be honest with you. By the way, so here's the thing. Lots of people correcting me saying, you mean couldn't care less. But here's the thing. Couldn't care less has nerd vibes, and could care less rolls off the tongue with so much more fire and brimstone. It's one of those things where I'm like, I know that couldn't care less makes sense, and could care less. Well, you know what you know what it actually is now that I'm thinking about it? Couldn't care less almost sounds like you're making an effort to not care. You're like, I'm not caring as hard as I can, and I don't want that. I want something that I want to imply that the shit that you're talking about is so boring that I'm not even exerting any effort whatsoever to not care about it. It's so boring to me that I could care less if it was worth putting a single bit of effort into not caring, but it's not worth it. That's how little I fucking care about it, is that I could care about it even less if it was worth thinking about for even one extra second. Now, that being said, on accident makes you sound like a fucking rube, okay? Things don't happen on accident. They happen by accident or accidentally. On accident is not right. And things are not, the only things that are addicting are flash games. Flash games can be addicting. Everything else is addictive. Only flash games can be addicting. Everything else, a substance, is addictive. What are these weird hills he's defending? I'm defending the right to just be one guy who realizes that you'll never have every right opinion, no matter how hard you try. No matter how much Reddit you read, you'll never echo complete consensus. So you might as well be weird. You might as well speak from the soul, man. Just put the heads in the bag. All right, be careful what you wish for. I'm calling my shot. 10 right now. 10 right now. You flinched. 10 right now. Right now. Put a rack on it. Put a rack on it right now. What is it? One in a million? Put a rack on it. Sorry, y'all. I hope you didn't get a chance to put a rack on it. It is funny, Chivley. Chivley said, imagine getting your ass beat and then looking up and the dude is toe walking away. If I ever beat someone's ass, that's what they'd see. I'd be like, and stay down. You might never recover, man. You might never recover from getting smacked on the bottom by a fella like me and then watching him T-Rex walk away. Oh, man. Could be sick, dude. Could be. Maybe I should start beating some ass, man. Maybe I should go fucking crazy. Maybe I should go insane. Maybe I should lose my motherfucking mind, man. By the way, you guys fucked me, and now my wife is mad at me because she told me to list my PUBG white sweatpants on Steam because they were like $30 a pair. And then I listed them, but it takes like 2 weeks for the hold to come off so they actually go to the marketplace. And in that time, I told you 100 times, guys, go to your Steam inventory. There's lots of shit in PUBG that's worth a lot of money. Go list it right now. And now the pants have tanked, man. They're at like $9 a pair because the supply is too high. But the problem is, they're worth nothing to me. So I don't care if I get $30 or $9 for them, but I can't just change the price. I have to delete the listing at $30 and put it back up at $9. But in doing that, I gotta wait 2 extra weeks for the fucking hold to come off again, man. In that time, it could go back up to 30, exactly. Me and Dan got a $500 H1Z1 mask at PAX East 2015 when we went out to eat at the hotel restaurant. What's crazy is that was from the era of PAX where motherfuckers like me were saying some shit like, yeah, the swag bags used to be better. They used to put like a real pack of magic cards in there. Now they just give you this, they give everybody the same promo, so there's too much supply. Apparently one of the PAXs we went to, they gave out, back when Riot still had to do marketing for League of Legends, there was a skin for a character in League of Legends that maybe came out of a swag bag in like 2012 or 2013 that apparently is now worth like $1,000 or something like that. It's worth $800. We do not have it. I threw the whole bag in the trash. And I threw it in the trash. That shit is Labor Day weekend. That shit was probably in the trash before I got back across the border. My Planet Killing King? I didn't print the fucking plastic trash, man. You gotta take that up with the marketing department. I didn't make the trash. They made the trash, and then I'm being moralized too when the trash ends up in the trash's house where it belongs? Your job's gotten kind of weird, huh? No, this is, I'm sorry, I'm flanderizing myself again. This is the base level. This is with all the shit stripped away. I'm not trying to be too blunt, but like, I guess every other stream is so, there's accoutrements and RGB lighting and thank you for the gifted subscriptions and there's alerts and there's things that pop up on the fucking screen and there's inside jokes and yada, yada, yada. That's like the girlfriend experience. And you've gotten so used to the girlfriend experience, you're like freaking out that the streamer's just pumping your dick up and down. That's what the shit is about. That's what this website is about. That's what you're building on. The foundation is pumping your shit. And then everything else, the hugs and the pretend, ask me how work was today, that's the shit that's obfuscating the pumping. This is just pure pumping, and you're going, wow, this is weird. What the fuck did you think you were doing before? They were just looking you in the eyes while they were pumping up and down. And you thought that elevated it above the base level pumping? This is the website. This is the website. Somebody watching somebody else click a button and then either pogging or typing no based on the result. That's a no, okay? Then that's a pog, okay? You've gotten the whole tutorial. You got the whole thing now. Now you could stay here, you could go anywhere else. Now you know what to do. Everything's a coin, man. To reach the masses, you gotta phrase it in their terms. Nah, man. I'm sick to death of like the idea that we have to tailor things for the masses. You can't write a complicated movie. You just gotta write something. People will never see it, man. You can't, I don't know where I'm going with this. But like at some point, I feel like back when I was a kid, when everything was better, we used to like admonish people for being stupid. We'd be like, you should try to get like a little bit smarter instead of being proud of your stupidity. But now, I got a lot of smart people I know are like, well, you can't do that. People are too stupid for that. Well, fuck them. When they stop crashing into people because they're looking at TikTok while they're driving, I'll start building some shit for them, okay? For now, we're making cerebral content for cerebral people. Like flipping a coin and seeing how long it takes to get fucking 10 heads in a row. Whole country of people with 130 IQ sounds very miserable. Yeah, it'd be miserable for a beast like me, and I have nobody to talk to at my level. I'd be bringing up some really advanced 135 IQ shit. All the people with 130 IQ would be like, I like to eat donuts. I like to eat food. And I would be like, you wouldn't understand the type of shit that I'm on. You wouldn't oh, you like donuts? Have you ever had a fucking croissant? What's that? You know what? You're not ready. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for that yet. Sorry, you're not ready for that. Okay. Oh, that would have been big. I wanted it on that one. I got to admit, I got shackled to earthly pleasures on that one. I was already predicting what I was going to do after the fourth head, and I was thinking of going for 5. What's the most advanced pastry? I'm sorry. Those of you who love viennoiseries, is that how you say it? They're gonna hate this every time. And I know I've said this every day for the last 5 years. You go to the bakery. They got croissant, they got pain au chocolat, they've got like a ham and cheese croissant, and then they got a bunch of shit I've never seen anybody order. They got the 3 heavy hitters, and then I would not be surprised if all the other pastries in the pastry cabinet are literally made of like resin or plastic. Like one day maybe I'll fucking go in there and be like, hey, give me the chocolat suisse. And they're gonna be like, I'll be right back. He ordered the fucking chocolat suisse. He ordered the chocolat suisse. What should we do? You don't want the chocolat suisse today. It's not. They're not good today. We actually baked them yesterday. Wouldn't you be happier with a ham and cheese croissant? No, I'll take the financier. The what? I don't have anywhere else to go with that one, but I got a guy you might like. Wanna hear? Yeah, absolutely. One second. Let me commit your name to the cache. Guy who eats ass because it's good for your gut biome. Is he anything? I think there's something to that. That could be part of a guy who's so concerned with health and wellness that he's always, like in the first couple of, because if it's a sketch comedy, the first couple of things, he's like, I've been eating a lot of cottage cheese. Sorry, Chibley, I've been eating a lot of cottage cheese lately. I think it's really good for your biome. And then the next guy goes like, you know what I've been eating? I've actually been eating like prebiotics that you keep in the fridge. Yeah, it's just a bottle full of bacteria, but it's so good for your gut biome. And then the third guy doesn't know what to say. So he goes, you know what I've been doing? I've been eating a lot of ass. If you could find a way to build it so that the escalation makes sense. Yeah, and then you could play with it. Yeah, and actually the thing is, you would think like, it's ass, I want to eat a clean ass. But actually it's the dirtiest asses that are the best for your gut biome. Yeah. No, it's really good. You should try it. Or I think, I don't know, instead of being a guy's capstone, it could also be one element of a broader guy. But what would 10 years ago NL say about this bit? I don't know. What would 10 years ago you say about this bit? Probably fucking goo goo gaga or some shit like that. What would I say about this shit 10 years ago? I'd probably be doing like a video essay about, did you hear that EA went private? What are the ramifications for Battlefield 6? Who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. They don't know who we are. They don't care about us at all. We're nothing to them. We're line items on a spreadsheet, at best. Guy who Doordashes popsicles. That's interesting. You know what? You'd have to find a restaurant that sells popsicles. No, I guess you could DoorDash it from a grocery store, but I don't know, because the thing is, what you've made up is funny, but I still think real guy who DoorDashes movie theater popcorn is funnier than anything you could make up almost. I've done that. Prezzo, it's so bad. I just want to give you some space to explain. I guess what you're going to say is you're craving popcorn, and the popcorn from the movie is like a big bag or bucket, I guess. So, but it's got to, by the time Uber Eats from the Cineplex arrives, you got to be like in for $30 or something just for the popcorn. Hang on, I got to see this Dan message. My wife has a friend who goes into the movie just to buy the popcorn. She's single. The she's single hits like a truck. I worked at a movie theater when Uber Eats blew up. We had one guy who ordered almost every day, sometimes twice. He'd get a large with triple butter and a bag of Maltesers and ask for them to be dumped in the popcorn almost every single time. Was he like an English professor over Zoom? Was his daughter played by Sydney Sweeney? That's crazy. That also is like, there's got to be like $70 in DoorDash a day, not to mention the popcorn. It's Sadie Sink, not Sydney Sweeney. I'm not the guy who's discovering that these are two different people. Guy who's discovering Sydney Sweeney wasn't in The Whale, because the only thing I've seen in The Whale is the picture. You know the picture. So that's the picture. And then this part, that's the only two things I've seen from The Whale. What's the picture? That's the best I can. I'm doing the picture as hard as I can. I think you had to be on social media in like 2020 or 2021 to understand I don't know when the fuck that movie came out. It might have been 2022. But for like the 9 months before The Whale came out, there would be a tweet like every 10 seconds that would be like, critics at the Venice International Film Festival are praising Brendan Fraser's return to form for Darren Aronofsky's The Whale. And it would just be this picture every time. And that's true, him passing you the blunt. I forgot about that one. By the way, Chiblee and Dan, I had a great idea and it's very inspired by this, and I talked about it on Tuesday or Wednesday. I had a great idea for an app. It's literally just an app where you flip a coin. It has a number, and the number is your streak. And that's it. That's the whole fucking app. There's no share. There's no subscription. There's no venture capital. It's the app is secondary to us creating, like seeding the mimetic element of it in the culture. So you could like show up to your friend's house and be like, yo, check this shit out. And just rip, boom, check it out. I got an 11 streak right now. I got an 11 streak right now. You dare me to flip it? No, you're not flip worthy. You're not flip worthy. No. We're not that close. We ain't that. If we were tight, if we went way back, I'd flip it for you. I'd risk it for you if we were best friends, but you're just like, I don't even really know who you are. I'm not going to flip it. I'm not flipping for you. You're not flip worthy. Imagine this app at a bar with the boys. Bro, can you imagine? Can you imagine just tapping a beautiful woman on the shoulder and being like, excuse me, I'm on 13 flips. Would you do me the honor? You know she would be like, could be huge. Could be fucking huge, man. Just think about it. It would work on me. It would work on them. Look, man. And then she fucking flips tails and you go, what the fuck did you do? What of you were supposed to flip heads? It took me like 10 days to get that streak. I gave it to you so you would flip heads. You flip tails. Why aren't you increasing the odds? I am increasing the odds by flipping as fast as I can. Look at them, Dan. They're trying to tear us apart. Can you try Mega Bonk? It's the actual game of the year. Seems right up your alley. They're literally so bad at baiting. You can bait me. I'm easily baitable. As we've said, I'm the type of fish that would brag about getting the bait. But you can't just be like, what are your thoughts on Mega Bonk? At a minimum, you got to say something like, when you beat this, will you play Mega Bonk? That's something that I might respond to. Because what it looks like to me is you typing that, you're feigning weakness. And I might mistake your feigned weakness for real weakness. And then when I take the bait and I say something like, you positively rube-facient juvenile chatter, Mega Bonk isn't a real game. You don't do anything in Mega Bonk. You walk around. At least in this, there's some gameplay. You have some impact on things. You can vary the speed at which you flip the coin. You actually have an impact on your environment instead of saying, oh, I'm just going to squeeze right by you. We're not the type of fella to squeeze right by you. We're the type of fella who might barrel right through you and flip a coin on top of you and say, and stay down. Okay, so I might fall for that. Because I just fell for my own fucking bait. Cam Scatterbo. That is pretty Cam Scatterbo. All these Cam Scatterbo bits are going to be so melancholy when he breaks his neck on the field. Like week 9 and has to retire. The librarian posts a Cam Scatterbo compilation of all the times we talked about him. Why would you say that? Bro, he runs into people with his fucking head, and they weigh like 380 pounds with 6% body fat. I'm not wishing evil on him. I'm just observing what's happening. Dan, I gotta ask you, by the way, so I'm not a huge football strategy guy. I just know that if I were the coach, I'd be airing that thing out. I would not be handing it off, because like a good run is like 8 yards and a good pass is like a 90-yard touchdown. So I would be throwing it at least 95% of the time. Maybe on like 3rd and 2, you might convince me to do a run, but this is all secondary to my question, okay? My question is, why do they keep running it into the defensive line and the linebackers? Are they stupid? You should never run towards those guys. Those are big guys who want to tackle you, bro. You should either hand it off and then have him run to the outside, or you should fucking pitch it and have him go way outside, bro. I don't know what kind of individuals are out here like, oh, I've got a great play. Let's pass the ball to the running back and then run him into the 5 biggest people I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, he's injured. Nobody could have possibly predicted that. You gotta send it to the outside, man. You gotta send it to the outside. Daniel.
Yo.
I can't wait to hear a football strategian tell me that it's a good idea to run into the 400-pound guys who want to tackle you.
Okay, so here's the situation, and people are going to be like, what does he know? He doesn't know what he's talking about. I interned for the Lions. I coached Division I football
Appeal
to
authority.
I coached high school football for 10 years. I'm looking at 3 state title championship trophies on my shelf right now. So you say, hey, why does the offensive coordinator keep calling plays for Cam Scatterbo to run into a 350-pound 3 technique? Well, here's the reason why. The reason why is a couple of things are happening. Rule number 1 is they got guys too. They got players too. So if you got a 350-pound 0 technique, 1 technique, he scoops the guard. You can't do that. But what you can do is you can call a trap. So this is like setting the bait here, Ryan Gary. So you got a 350-pound, say 3 technique that's just eating your right guard up, just nom, 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 nom. So what you do is you call a trap. So you send that right guard down, he double teams to the fence, gets to the backer, then the left guard comes and pulls around because the 3 technique's like, no one's blocking me. I got a free path to the running back. I see Cam Scatterbo, then boom, he gets ear-holed and he gets trapped. And then you see little Cam Scatterbo go 95 yards for a touchdown. And then they run it again and again and again. So from the outside standpoint, I get it, Ryan Gary. It's like, yo, why are they running this? Why are they running this? It's a chess game, man. And I know you can appreciate that. But at the end of the day, they got guys too is the answer.
Daniel, thank you for your illuminating discussion. That's much to think about.
No problem. I'll draw it up for you in paint and I'll send it to you too. But keep flipping, man. I love watching it. See you, bud.
Thank you. I heard all that. And I'll be honest, I have no idea what the guards and the tackles do. It seems like they basically just put a big guy out there and then the defense goes, I'll match you. I'll put out an even larger man. So it just seems to me like football would be better if they just got rid of both the offensive and the defensive line, because they don't seem to do it. They just cancel out. Like everybody else on the field is playing football and these guys are sumo wrestling the whole time. Like it doesn't really make sense to me, like what they're doing. But I'll tell you the other thing is that he's made me think, okay? Here's what I would do instead, okay? Instead, because apparently passing the ball 95% of the time is not, it's too predictable. What I would do instead, I would actually run 95% of the time, like the 49ers are likely to do tonight. But then the other 5% of the time, and sit your ass down for this, get ready. The other 5% of the time, play action. So they're like, oh, another run. Oh, no! 99-yard touchdown for Jordan Addison. 99-yard touchdown because we thought that it was going to be another run. Oh, no. They should try it, man. They should try it. They should punt on 2nd down. They never expect it. Low key, though, how sick would it be if it was like 2nd and 6 and they brought out the punting unit and ran a fake punt play on a fake punt on 2nd and 5. Yeah. And they're like, whoa, what the hell? They're punting. And then you're like, surprise, our punter's throwing the ball. And it's intercepted. It's been intercepted and run back for a touchdown. The Titans should do that shit just to see what would happen. Dude, listen, Sleeper, you can keep making the Titans color like orange as if I give a shit what their run defense is like. Buddy, if I've got a player and they're going up against the Titans, they're not on the bench. Let me tell you that much, okay? I've learned my lesson. Anybody in my lineup who has versus TEN or at TEN, they're starting. It's that simple. I don't give a shit. Oh, actually, the DBs are pretty strong. They've only given up 1.7 PPR points. No, they're starting. They're fucking starting. The flea flicker has aura. Well, dude, okay, what game was it? It might have been Jets Dolphins, where because the Jets were on like their own 3, and they only had time for 1 play. So the QB passed it to a guy, and then that guy was about to get tackled, so he started hitting like laterals to another guy who started running, and then that guy was about to get tackled, so he hit another lateral to like another guy. Why don't they just do that on like every play? Like on a lot of plays, it seems like they just are like, oh, I'm being tackled. Here I go, I've been tackled. Fuck that, bro. Every throw should be a touchdown. You should be, oh shit, Darren Sharper, here, you take it. And then fucking haul it off to the other guy, man. Give him a chance. You don't want to get tackled by Darren Sharper. If they drop the pass, it's a live ball. Well, that's what fucking practice is for, bro. By the way, as a kid who like played Madden and then watched football, I had no appreciation for the amount of athleticism and skill that it takes to play professional football. As an adult who is now older than like 98% of the National Football League's active players, it's a miracle that the game can take place. And I'm not even talking about the risk of injury, which is obviously like insanely high, but it's like the fact that the fucking quarterback will be like, that guy sprinting 32 yards away, and he throws a fucking perfect spiral, unless he's Cam Ward. And then the DB like puts his hands up to try to get it, and it just like grazes the fingertips, and the wide receiver, like without even looking, is just like, thunk, I got it. That's crazy, man. It's unbelievable. Except unless they drop the pass, and then you're like, what are you doing? The fuck are you gotta have that. And you're like, look, I got a guy, I got a 23-year-old, 6'8", 240-pound DB on me, bro. I'm trying. I literally got to look at the ball for like 1/8 of a second before it landed. Oh my, there he goes, dropping another pass. Running backs are insane though. I feel like that's like, you're like signing up to die. I don't think Scatterbo figured it out, man. I think he's gonna break his fucking neck. Dan, I don't know if you're still here, by the way, but I bet it feels good as fuck to break a tackle. I've never broken a tackle in my life, but I bet it feels good as fuck to be like running really fast, and then a bigger guy like tries to get you, but because of your momentum, you just kind of like parry him, like tech him, boom. And the longer it's been since I've seen the clip of Marshawn Lynch, the more insane it gets in my memory. Like now in my head, it's like I'm being so sincere. Now like you see the clip and you're like, that clip's crazy. Now in my head, he has the ball and the dude's about to tackle him and he stomps the field. And like by stomping the field, everybody gets like off balance and knocked over. And then he continues running to the end zone. He did Earthshaker's ult, man. Like when you hit the trampoline at the wrong time. And yeah, that's so true. And your knees buckle. I bet sacking a quarterback feels good too. I'm just here. Listen, I've been watching ball for like 4 weeks. I'm starting to learn a little bit. they're getting a little soft with the taunting penalties, don't you think? Also, everyone's going to like that one. I don't think anybody's going to like this one. But they got to lighten up on the roughing the passer penalties. Not a lot, but just a little bit. I'm sorry, if I and I'm the linebacker, I'm going to eat your lunch on this one. If I'm coming in at a full sprinting speed and the quarterback is like, ah, and throws in like an instant, in like the flap of a hummingbird's wings, he releases the ball as I'm jumping towards him and I push him over. And they're like, that's a roughing the passer. If that's roughing the passer, then you can't hit the quarterback. Because if you go to sack the quarterback, he can just pass the ball, roughing the passer. You should not be allowed to hit the kicker or the punter, though, because that's literally like a health and safety violation. Half the reason Mahomes is so good is because he exploits that. Well, that's what pisses me off, because I have him on my fantasy team, but you don't get any points for being awesome at getting roughing the passer penalties. It's the same reason originally I was pissed off that I was starting George Pickens, because I was like, the dude just is a magnet for DPI, but like that doesn't, how does that fucking help me beat Exa in the fantasy league? It doesn't. But then he woke up and he caught a couple of long balls. Somebody get that for AJ Brown. Football is so funny, man. What is it like? He caught 2 passes last week and then posted on Instagram a Bible verse that was like, if people aren't fucking with you, don't worry about them, just leave them behind. And then everyone was like, AJ, are you okay? And he was like, oh yeah, that wasn't about football. he tweeted it like 3 minutes after the game ended or whatever, and he was like, that was about some other shit. Hang on. Lineman tweet, lol, nice one, dudes. RB tweet, complaints. Wide receiver tweet, I am a child of God and will conquer all adversity. But you can sort of understand it, right? Because, like, if you're a running back, you're getting the ball all the time. If you're RB1, you're touching the ball like 30% of plays. If you're RB2, you're touching it like 10% of plays. If you're a wide receiver, you only touch the ball when someone says, give that guy the ball. That's tough, man. I will say it's crazy to me that anyone would pass the ball to a tight end. You literally have faster guys on the team that have run further away from the line of scrimmage. Don't pass it to why would you pass to your tight end for 6 yards? Well, you know what, I was gonna Vikings post, but to be honest with you, Hawkinson, I mean, that's why Carson Wentz is the GOAT, man. He sees Justin Jefferson going out for 30 yards. He sees Jordan Addison going out for 60 yards. And then he sees TJ Hawkinson that's like 3 yards away from the line of scrimmage going, I'm open. And he says, fuck that guy. Let it fly. Oh, shit, it got intercepted. What the fuck? You guys think the frame rate's dipping a little bit? Hang on, I got a bunch of push notifications. No shot, Germa went live 3 times. Oh, it's Dan's chart for how a trap run works in football. All right, 3 tech equals T. Comes upfield thinking he has clear path. Boom, out the gate. I get it. So the running back gets the ball. Oh, I see it now. Oh, damn. Maybe the coaches know what they're doing. Can I say something, though? If I was an OC, a.k.a. offensive coordinator, you would not catch me being in the booth, in the ivory tower, with the owner and the fucking everybody else up there, all the suits. I'd be down on the field calling it with the shit open, my 32 blue. I'd be calling it like that with the clipboard over my mouth. There's no shot you would see me up in the booth. You're not separated. You can't separate a general from his soldiers like that. Not in negative degree weather. Give me the Belichick and then put some sleeves on it. I'm going out. Remember when the Eagles' left tackle got injured in that game with the Rams, and then Jalen Hurts got sacked like 9 times in a row? At that, Nick Sirianni, I know he was like, damn, dude, this is how you do it. Is it that hard, bro? What's the Belichick? No, it's not dating. Okay, Bill Belichick is not dating a high schooler. He is dating a woman that is like 52 years younger than him. But he's so old that she's actually, I think, the one who should be concerned about the problematic age gap. I think she might be taking advantage of him. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really want to weigh into the situation, but it's giving a little bit of elder abuse. But to be Belichicking, why don't you tell me what I'm thinking about when I say Belichicking? And don't say, oh, intentionally deflating the footballs. That happened, but like skill difference or whatever. No sleeves on a hoodie, no sleeves on a hoodie, no sleeves on a sweater, sleeveless hoodie, sleeveless sweater. Yep, you got it. Wearing a sleeveless sweatshirt. That's what we in the business call Belichicking. I called David Montgomery flea market in my league, but nobody gets the reference. I gotta figure out, maybe we'll do that once we get to 9 flips. I'll boot up Sleeper and we can like nickname my entire team. I had one nickname, but I didn't know how to put it on the guy. So after I traded him, I told my trading partner, there's an asterisk on this trade. You need to rename him Quinshawn 33.3%, repeating, of course, Judkins. Quinshawn Judkins! Let's do this, chums. You traded him? Yeah, I've got it. It's a crowded stable of RBs. So we had a great trade. I dumped Judkins to upgrade a little bit at QB. Do you think you could play this on controller? That would be even better. Oh, dude! Clip that! 1:06 p.m. on Thursday, discovering the X button works instead of the fucking space bar. Holy shit! How's the ear? Ever since I got it flushed, I can hear better, and I don't get any like ear fluid stuck in there, but it did not save my life, I'm sorry to say. Ear fluid? I had a ball of impacted earwax stuck in my left ear canal that was like wider than the ear canal. But then they took it out with like a vacuum cleaner, basically. Probably took out a little bit of my brain too, which is fine. It was only $75. What do you expect? Did it feel good? Yes. At first, it made me feel really dizzy when it was like being dislodged. But then as I felt it starting to, like the audiologist got some purchase and started to be able to wrench it out, it felt fucking euphoric, sincerely. It was a very bizarre feeling, but also a very euphoric feeling. How did you know that was your problem? I gamed the Canadian medical system, essentially. I knew I had impacted earwax. I contacted many audiologists, almost all of whom said, oh yeah, we don't do earwax removal. So I went to an audiologist. I swear this is true. I went to an I was asking the other audiologists what to do. And they were like, oh, we suggest you go to a walk-in clinic, which is basically like telling you to suck them off. Because to go to a walk-in clinic and be like, my ear's dirty, it's like, I don't know if you've been to a walk-in clinic, at least where I live in like the last 10 years. You have to get there an hour before the clinic even opens to have a chance. And then because your shit is like not that serious, they're going to triage you for hours and hours and hours. Because people are coming in with like, their legs have been crushed by like cinder blocks in workplace accidents and shit like that. So like basically they're just saying, not my problem. So I said, okay, motherfucker. And then they said, well, you can make an appointment with your primary care provider and then they'll refer you to and I said, okay, motherfucker. Because that again is like you go to the online portal that my doctor's changed 9 different times. Like I can't get an appointment with my doctor. I've made 9 different accounts on various like software as a service, online calendar apps to try to get an appointment. They were like, oh, we don't have any availability for like 2 months. So I said, okay. I see what you're basically saying. That's not my problem. So I found an audiologist that did free hearing tests. And then I came in as a 36-year-old, and they basically said, what are you doing here? You're 36. And then I went, oh, my wife's complaining that sometimes I have to ask her to repeat things. And they said, well, let's sit you down and take a look. And then she put the otoscope in my right ear and said, this one's pretty good. And then she put it in my left ear and went, there's your problem right there. You've got a lot of impacted earwax. Can you come back next week so I can get it out? And I said, oh, if you think it's necessary. Huge, huge, huge. Oh, that's why you play the game and that's why you fucking watch. Holy shit. Dude, I'm buzzing. I'm fucking buzzing. When I was at 50% chance, I didn't fucking feel like that. I didn't feel like that. Holy shit, we're fun maxing, man. Take Austin Powers, pack one, pick one in the shagging draft. Well, listen, you might, but it depends what season. If we're talking about 60s Austin, that's peak shagging. If we're talking about Austin Powers 1, I mean, there's no doubt he's Shagger 1. You don't put him on the bench. He's shagging. But Austin Powers 2, what if we run Austin Powers 2 back when he loses his mojo? He can't perform with Ivana Hump-a-Lot. He has a little performance anxiety with Felicity Shagwell, especially after she absconds with Fat Bastard to place the tracking device in his anus. And then I have to be honest with you, he's past his peak at that point. Because in Goldmember, does he shag Foxy Cleopatra? Yeah, and I mean, that's putting up big points, don't get me wrong. But he was monogamous at that point. You gotta put him maybe in a flex position depending on the kind of defense he's going up against. What about Fook Me and Fook You? You don't know shit about ball. He didn't have intercourse with Fook Me and Fook You. He was going to, but then Basil Exposition pulled him away. The refs literally intervened. But the refs are part of the game. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Yeah, man. Kind of. I'll say something controversial. It's weird for the twins, obviously, but it's weird for the guy, too. I don't think I would be like, this is awesome. I think I would be like, are you sure you want to do this? I think it would be like, that's your sister. Are you sure? This is weird. I'm starting to question your judgment. I don't want to be part of any club that would have me as a member. What's your stance on Vanessa? I try not to think about it too hard, because Austin Powers 1 suffers a little bit if you watch it knowing that Vanessa was supposedly a fembot the whole time. She was? Yes, we knew all along, sadly. It's my favorite joke in the entire Austin Powers trilogy. Austin Powers says, it turns out Vanessa, my bride, was a fembot. And then, I forgot his name. It's Basil Exposition, but what's his real name? Michael York. Thank you, me, for the assist. Yes, we knew all along, sadly. It's a great line. And yes, Austin, the Cold War is over. Finally, those capitalist pigs will pay for their crimes, eh, comrade? Austin, we won. He's got some good line reads, man. This coffee tastes like shit. It is shit, Austin. Well, it is rather nutty. Yeah, baby! Austin, that's my mother! He's got some good line reads, man. Just do the whole movie. I gotta remember, I've seen it on TV so many times. How does Austin Powers 1 start? Starts with the pissing thing? That's like 20 minutes into the movie! Starts with a dance. It starts with him running around in the 60s. 1967 Club is the start of The Spy Who Shagged Me, man. Well, not the start, but like it's still in the first act. Starts at the nightclub with the spy lady he uses as a bullet shield. You guys are fucking flicking me. That's the second movie. I'm gonna freak the fuck out. I'm gonna freak out. That's the second movie. Dun, 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 dun. She spies him with the little binoculars and then goes down the fireman's pole and then rubs her butt on Austin's crotch and goes, you might want to be careful. Your friend works for Dr. Evil. And then he goes, and who do you work for, baby? And then he looks around and she's gone. And then Robin Spitz comes back, maiden name Swallows. But then remember she's trying to like get to Austin, but one of the other like Heather Graham's minions does like a handstand and puts her legs out like this so she can't get to him. How do you get into those jeans? You could start by buying me dinner first. So how does the first movie start again? Definitely starts with him and Mindy Sterling in the Shagwar, but I don't really remember what. They're dancing in the streets of Britain. He wakes up and watches a bunch of documentaries. Bro, that's literally like 2/3 of the way through the first movie. Sometimes I forget you've missed the last 30 years, Austin. I know. I can't believe Liberace was gay. I mean, women loved him. Pleased with yourself? I was just thinking about Austin Powers. Trying to think, what's the best? There's so many iconic scenes. Hot tub scene with a lot of vagina. Obviously, when he gets the tour vehicle stuck horizontally in the hallway, that's a classic. Mini-Me, that's the second movie! I'm going to fucking freak out. Mini-Me comes out in the second movie. He's not in the first movie. You keep bringing up the second movie. Which movie is it with the shadow scene? That's all three movies, man! Because that's what Mike Myers does, is when a joke works in one movie, he just does it again and again and again. When he's at the premiere and Tom Cruise is playing Austin Powers, it's the third movie. That's in the third movie. That's the third movie. That's not even the second. Will Ferrell dying in the canyon? That's the second movie! I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking freak out. You guys aren't real Powers heads. That's the second movie. He's in the first movie too, but they drop him into the trap door from the chair where there's like the flames are shooting out of the floor. He presses the button and he goes, shh. My Name is Jeff. That's true. Chibli, you ever seen the movie that My Name is Jeff is from? Low key is actually that part. I mean, the movie's funny, but that part is really funny. That's 21 Jump Street. You're fucking trolling me. That's 22 Jump Street. I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. I'm good. You don't know anything. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. And it's pissing me off. No, it isn't. It's 21. That's 22 Jump Street, man! It's the start of 22 Jump Street. It's 21, you're wrong. No, man! They go to it's 22! It's the start of 22! That's Jefe, man. They call him the Mexican Wolverine. Don't use that voice. That's Jonah Hill! It's Jonah Hill in the second movie! I'm gonna fucking freak out. It's Channing. No, it's not Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum says, my name is Jeff. Jonah Hill says, that's Jefe, man. He's like the Mexican Wolverine. No, wait, he doesn't, because that's the other guy who looks like the Mexican Wolverine because of the sideburns. I'm combining two bits there, but. Why are you doing that voice? Oh, so just because I'm a little bit pudgy and then skinny and then a little bit pudgy in the next photo and then skinny and then a little bit pudgy in the next photo, I can't do Jonah Hill's voice. I can't do a Jonah Hill impression just because I don't struggle with my weight that often and go up and down. That seems a little unfair. I've been pudgy too. You don't think I've been pudgy? Look at this shit right here, man. I can totally do a Jonah Hill impression. Look at this. That was you in the whale? Okay, pump the brakes, kid. You're gonna hurt some feelings. How's the art book reading going? I haven't read it in a bit, but I keep going to the bookstore and buying more books. And someone might say, but you haven't even read the other books you got? Shut up, shape rotator. A word cell is speaking, okay? If I need someone to fucking draw up a diagram in CAD for a fucking valve that will be 2% more efficient at moving fluid through a piping system, you're gonna be the first motherfucker I call, okay? But right now, the word cells are speaking. It's cool to buy books, even if you haven't read the last book you bought. Books are fun to buy, fun to shop for. Being in a bookstore is one of the best stores to be in. I want my bookstore to stay open because I like shopping in it, even if I'm not reading all the books, so I like to buy books at the bookstore. They also, and you might find this non-virtuous, but a book also signals. It signals to you something about yourself, maybe something you want to learn about, something you're interested in, and it signals that to other people as well. It's a conversation starter. It gives you something to talk about. And plus, they don't go bad. It's not like when you buy, like lettuce, and then you got a container of lettuce that's just becoming like green soup in your fridge. The books don't go bad, man. Well, except for all the ones that Dan Ariely wrote about behavioral finance, because it turns out he fucking made that shit up. But luckily, I speed ran those ones and made sure to read them and go, wow, all the shit in here is really interesting. Oh, wait, it would be interesting if it wasn't fucking fraudulent and made up. But anyway, also, can I say something? We all hate food waste. Let's start there. Letting vegetables go bad. Oh, I really intended to use that. Oh man, 2 carrots and a red pepper. That represents, I was gonna make pasta with that. I was gonna put that in the pasta sauce. Letting meat go bad. We can never tell anybody about this. We're fucking murderers. Oh my God. Nobody can ever know that this happens. Oh my fucking God. We let some beef go bad in the fridge. We got distracted with some other shit we had to do, and the corpse went bad. Hiking, all fun and games till your friend makes you hop over the wiggly rock. I like the wiggly rock bit, Chiblee. I like it. Weird comedy Trump. Yeah, Chiblee! Do the wiggly rock bit, Chiblee. The wiggly rock is symbolic, Chiblee, for all the things that, as a child, you don't fully understand, but the vibes are bad. Wiggly rock on! I like that. I like wiggly rock on. I will say, this is not the last time I was at the bookstore, but like, maybe the second to last time I was at the bookstore, they did have a lady in with a table who was doing like a book signing. And there was nobody getting their book signed. And I felt like, oh man. You know how when you, sorry to play the hits again, but it had exactly the same vibes as when you go to the farmer's market and then like, there's the dude selling like cheese, and then there's the farm that's selling produce, and then there's the lady who's selling like handmade jewelry. And she's just like on her phone, and she didn't realize that like most of the people here are just trying to get like pierogies and stuff. Not too many people were like, oh, I really need, I want a turquoise gemstone woven bracelet. Hey, fuck you, that's my wife. I support the world of art. I support the art world. I'm just saying, I mean, if you're at a farmer's market and you're selling jewelry instead of food, make sure your phone's charged. That's all I'm saying. But then the worst, and I don't hate them for being on their phone. Okay, I don't hate them for being on their phone, because it would be even worse if they were looking out, trying to like find somebody looking to make an impulse purchase, and then just being met with like, you know, when you like accidentally make eye contact with someone selling something that you don't want to buy, and you have to be like, I wasn't looking at you. I was looking beyond you. I was looking at the park behind you where there's nobody. I think I'm going to keep looking at it for like an extra 3 seconds so that you know that I wasn't accidentally looking at you. Part of the art is selling it, and part of the art is making it, bro. So I hope she's getting some value out of making the art. It would be awesome if you could sell it, but here's the thing. And I'm not saying this is the way it should be. People are not buying art anymore. Like really, really wealthy people are buying like paintings. And then like, I think everybody else is buying like graphic t-shirts pretty much. Furries are buying the art. I was about to say something that was gonna make enemies of 2 very large contingents of individuals that I do not want to end up on the wrong side. I'll tell you, Evil NL would have said, that's not art, those are drawings. They're calling it the perfect 1-sentence nuke to accidentally anger all furries and all artists. But I thought about it and I said, that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say was, that's good. I did get angry for a split second. I got no quarrel with the furries, and I have less than no, well, that makes it sound like I've got a quarrel with the furries if I say I have no quarrel with the furries and then I have less than no quarrel with the artists. That makes it sound like I actually have a quarrel with the furries, and I don't. NL, are you gonna get super jacked for fun? No, I kind of like, I don't know. Can I do the most annoying bit of all time? As I've gotten skinnier from doing cardio, I've gotten more vascular, but I actually think it looks fucking stupid. Because like now I'm kind of like small all over, but my arms are kind of big, but they're not big like, oh, this guy works out. It's like just, and I don't want you to think this is being complimentary to myself. It's just bicep. There's very little tricep involved. There's very little forearm involved. It's just like an arm and then an elbow and then the bicep like juts out and then it comes back. Like the way you would draw like a cartoon with a bicep. And I think it looks fucking stupid. I think it looks insanely dumb. To be like a skinny guy, but then the biceps are like disproportionately large and they're like so veiny too. And then the musculature there does not follow through the rest of the form. I think it's aesthetically hilarious, but not necessarily good. So if anything, I wouldn't mind losing a little musculature in the biceps specifically. But I don't know if you can do that because I've still got to like, you know how it is, fellas, like 10 times a day. It's like, hey, Gronk, pick this shit up. Move it over here. I was wondering what it would look like if we moved all the furniture in the living room to the other side of the living room. You know what I mean? The only way to do that is to actually do it and then decide, nah, I like it better the old way. But it's nice, honestly. Moving stuff around is good. Because we had my kid's birthday party on Sunday, and there's a lot of shit to do. And I said, I don't want to do any of that planning shit. You guys plan it, and then just like, I'll be like your RimWorld colonist. Number one, they put me on hauling. Number one priority, hauling. You give me a trunk with boxes in it, and then a place to put the boxes, I'm your guy. There's a beauty in just doing like the grunt work. At least when it's like not your job, at least. Like if it's your job, you'd probably be like, I'm sick as fuck of these boxes. But like for a party or something like that, moving some shit around feels awesome. Animal husbandry number 2. I don't even know I don't know what my number 2 was, to be honest with you. Number 2 was saying hi and thanks for coming to like a bunch of people. Many of whom I know pretty well, but then some of whom I was seeing for like the second time in my entire life. Trying to hit them with a look that was like, I know who you and your child are, when in my head I'm like, who the fuck is this? You're at my kid's birthday party. You kind of look like one of the kids that's over there, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure I even know who that kid is. That kid might have just wandered in or something, but I'll say whatever. Hey, thanks for coming. I'll hit you with that. But the thing is, you're like, oh, that's not very nice. But I've been on the other side of the birthday party many times as well. You're like, it's whose birthday? And then you like give them a present, but you're like, I don't know anything about this child. I don't know anything about this child at all. But I'll eat your canapes. I'll eat your canapes and I'll drink a Maison Perrier Pamplemousse sparkling water for sure, man. It would be so funny if this was something only you experience. Honestly, 30s, I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but the 30s is kind of great. Because when I was like 16, I was like, oh, I wish I could just be normal. Now at 36, I'm like, thank God I'm not normal, man. Just making sure I don't fit in. Oh, man. Rubbing on my yellow leg. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the calves just look silly too. I'm not body goals. I'll just start right there. But your mom ain't complaining. One day they're gonna make your mom jokes TOS. This clip is gonna age so badly. I used to like NL, but then, have you seen the compilation of all those your mom jokes? I can't, it was a different time. It was a different time. I put out yearly sexism supercuts. I put out a Nazi NL video. We can do more. I'm so glad I'm not on YouTube. You put out a Nazi NL video? The misogyny ones, that makes sense. How'd you get enough footage for a Nazi NL video? I haven't seen that one. That's fucking crazy. Oh, because of when Justin said I look like Ed Norton. That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Oh, shit, that's funny. People were not happy about that one. I think, well, listen, you gotta be careful, but I'm the butt of the joke, and I think it itself isn't that funny, but the audacity to do it is funny. I use that I am Adolf Hitler clip a lot. I will say, the closest I've probably come to crashing out on stream was when a bunch of 14-year-olds in chat actually thought it was problematic to listen to an audiobook about World War II history. That was what was fucking crazy to me. But I guess it's because, like, when they read books about dragons and shit, they're like, oh, I want to fucking be a dragon so bad. So they just assume that, like, all people who are reading a book, it's because they're like, oh, I want to be the subject of the book. I want to be a dragon. I want to be a wizard. There wasn't, I think maybe we've moved past it, okay? But there was a time where it was like, being interested in history is suspicious, which is insane. It's kind of like, it's one of the most infuriating sentences. I think I even just saying it right now made me angry because I also heard it. I'm a historian. Sometimes people are weird with it. Well, there is like, so historian to historian, because you're a historian, you probably have a degree, you work in the field. I listen to nonfiction audiobooks about history. Does it piss you off that the person in chat said being really interested in World War II history is a red flag? That doesn't seem like a red flag to me. This should happen in, like, living memory, essentially. Our grandparents, great-grandparents fought in that shit, and it, like, it lasted years and completely reshaped, like, the fabric of society, man. I don't think it seems kind of insane to not want to learn about what happened before it, what directly led to it, how that shit went down, and what the repercussions of it have been ever since. It's crazy to me that people aren't, like, talking about it more often and being like, can you believe that shit happened? Like, that shit happened like 15 years before The Apartment came out? As much as it would be funny to end the stream on one head, you can't do that. That makes you into too much of a caricature. That doesn't feel spiritually authentic. We either end on a win or we end on a tails. There you go. There you go. Enjoying the flips? Grab your coin. You're gonna love what happens next. There's one for you, librarian. There's another video that could be the start of a video for you. And slash marker, unfair flips. All right, I'm going to send you over to Kate's stream. I'll be back tomorrow. I think we're playing Lego Party tomorrow. Means we might have to grind some coins on the weekend so that by Monday I'm a little closer to winning, okay? But for now, what time? We should do, oh, that's true. We should do afternoon, right, Chibli? Chibli, what time is it there right now? We should start our lobby 2 hours and 11 minutes before the present time. So, can you do 8 a.m. your time? Are you that type of beast? That's perfect. Damn. You're morning maxing. The only Marvel Rivals player to wake up at 7 a.m.? That's aspirational, man. You do be getting the worm. He's him. Rock on, Chibli! I don't know why I keep doing the shaka instead. Also, I don't know why my ring finger won't go down. If it goes down, my pinky goes weird. Rock on, Chibli! Rock on! Gay Bob Dylan would be like, he sucks cock just like a man. Oh, he gawks just like a man. the last one to be like, yes, he does. He guzzles cum just like a man. Plug his mic in. Woody Guthrie at the fucking Newport Folk Festival. Don't do it, Bob. Don't go gay. I'm doing it. Once upon a time, you touched my balls. Didn't you? Dicking you? Boo! Boo! Bob Dylan went gay. He went gay. That's so true. Gay Bob Dylan. A man in me would do nearly any ass. And then it writes itself after that point. You're so true. My girl going through my phone. What the hell is this? Title, gay hurricane. Pissing coming out on a gay night. Enter my boyfriend from the upper hall. He gives me a glass from a bowl of cum. Shouts out, my God, I've come a lot. Here comes the story of the hurricane. I'm not gonna say it. It's a different song. It's a distinct song, okay? It's like instead of the song Sarah, it was like about, Daryl, Grecian type statue with a hell of a cock. Daryl, now that you got me, you don't need a sock. Something like that.